Can you hear it? Welcome to Relay.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Antelope. Spreadsheet. Beelzebub. Banana. Applesauce.
What is happening?
Shiver. Coagulate. Interception.
Ugh.
Interceptor. Intercepting. Nakara. Cinnamon. Produce.
He just has a
Pickles.
Just flipping through a thesaurus.
Santa Fe. Jugular.
Santa Fe's okay.
Jake.
Hi.
Star Whale.
Oh.
Narwhale. Narwhal.
Narwhale. Narwhale.
Relay. Station. Now?
No, tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
We're here.
Bye.
We're here during everything.
See you later, everybody.
Is there a stream
Hello.
today?
There is a stream.
Thanks, Miles.
Welcome to the podcast. It's time for the podcast. Back. We're back. The OG crew is back together once again.
Yep.
We have the people. Was this our original lineup when we did Inverse the first time? No. Shiver, I don't think was part of the team quite yet. Cause you joined on after we had done a few Inverse episodes. Yeah, no,
I would
it
have
was-
to look. I don't really remember.
It was me, Eric, and David, and a picture of Chris Roberts just going.
Yes.
Yes!
Yes, that's what it was. We essentially had a cardboard cutout of Chris Roberts.
Yeah.
And he was the most sober looking.
Oh yeah.
Also the most
Yeah,
sober.
oh yeah, 100%. Yes. Also yes. Welcome everybody. We're back with things. 3.6 is in the PTU. All is well in the universe as far as we know anyway. And yeah.
California's rocking and rolling.
Why am I not on the screen at all? There we go.
I just...
David likes moving stuff around whenever.
Just... This is what happens when you give me control of things. I break them.
It's
What do you
true.
want?
It's true.
You didn't break your internet.
Welcome.
Welcome.
I managed to get my internet back for this, which was difficult because I think on Tuesday, apparently my neighbor was digging up stuff in their yard, and they cut my internet line in half.
Nice. Uh-huh.
So I had no internet till yesterday at like 7-ish.
Oh, that's fun.
Wow.
And they actually weren't able to repair my internet. The cable goes under the next door neighbor's driveway, so they actually just ran a new cable all the way around his house, all the way around my house, and then to the cable box. So
now you don't have to worry about it ever again.
well, I've got to worry about it in like 6-ish weeks when they bring in like a big truck to dig under the driveway, so that it's not like a 400-foot run
Please
around.
tell me that when the neighbor did that, he came over and he's sorry about that.
Look, it's a really, really long reach around to get the internet from.
He gave you a reach around as well.
Yes, they definitely give you a reach around.
Thumbs down. Thumbs down. Welcome.
I have the same question as Shiver.
What's that?
What did the neighbor have to say when he cut?
I was
your
actually kind of
internet?
disappointed. He was like, "Oh, did it knock out your internet?" I was like, "Yeah," and he was like, "Oh, well, I tried to repair it, and there's like some electrical tape wrapped around where he had cut it," and I was like, "Yeah, it
That's
didn't
not
work.
how that works.
What?
It didn't work."
He
That's
tried
not how
to
that
fix a fiber optic cable with electrical tape.
That's not how any of this works.
Well, not only that, but like That's basically like if you cut off your arm, someone just sticks it back there and wraps it with electrical tape.
Yes, that's literally what he did. And also he didn't tell. So it went out Tuesday, and I was like, whatever. There was a giant outage in Toronto. I was like, it's probably part of that. And then only Wednesday, I was looking at his yard, and I was like, he dug up his entire yard. There is a large cable sticking out of the grass. Huh.
You put 2 and 2 together, didn't you?
Bluesy, yes, actually, I did apologize to him many times. I was like, don't worry about it. It's all good. No need to be sorry. You know, it happens.
So
don't worry about it.
This is my fault.
To make up
I'm
for
an
my
internet
lost internet, I demand that your wife pose and do various things in need, did I say? Because I can't access Pornhub.
Yes, that's the solution, Shiver.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
So welcome to the podcast.
Relay Station, where we talk about David's internet woes. Guys, let's just talk about Deep Space Nine for an hour. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm up for that.
Yeah, can we talk about something good? Like
No.
Deep Space Nine?
Star Trek First Contact?
Ooh.
Yeah, sure.
That was probably the best movie out of the Star
reason
Trek.
why
Definitely
I was
with the next gen.
Was I was on Twitter the other day, and I want to know what your guys' thoughts are. Which is the best Weyun?
I don't even know who Weyun is.
6.
Weyun 5 was the best one. He's the one who got all this in motion. No matter which one is your favorite, though, let's all agree that Weyun 7 was the worst.
I really wish
the
I'd
one
watched
that
these
fucked around with Odin?
enough.
Okay, so Weyun 5 is the one we're introduced to, like at the beginning. He dies in a transporter accident, and
Sure does.
a transporter accident. Damar just beamed him into space. Is what happened.
Sure did.
So Weyun 6 comes along and he defects, and Weyun 7 is the one who goes after him.
Weyun 6 was the best.
So confused.
Yeah, they're clones.
You just don't have enough good taste to watch Star Trek.
Yeah.
Weyun 6
That's it.
is
I saw that tweet. I saw that tweet yesterday. I was like, you know what?
I have watched all of the Star
Let's
Treks.
talk about Weyun.
I just think that Deep Space Nine is the worst of them.
No.
Have you not seen Star Trek Voyager?
Yeah, I prefer Voyager to Deep Space Nine.
2 Vix, David. 2 Vix.
David has
Threshold.
a skewed
The only
sense of reality.
episode
Macro
the writers
viruses.
went on the internet and said, "Please ignore this episode. It is not canon. We're really fucking
Which episode is that?
Threshold."
Threshold.
They cross the warp 10 barrier. and
Oh
then for
yeah,
some
that
reason,
was
Paris
really
and
stupid.
Catherine Janeway turn into lizards and go off and
And screw each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a really good episode. Really good. Mm-hmm.
Voyager's
So
not good.
welcome to the relay station.
Better
It
than
has-
Space Nine. Oh look, we're on a space
Okay,
base for
real
400 years, and nothing
Real
happens, and everything is boring.
Nothing
oh,
happens.
let's go
Did you
look at
actually-
this guy in a
they weren't
bar.
even
What
stuck just
happened?
on the star base for the entire series. They brought in a fucking ship in the second series.
And it was a shitty ship.
You're a shitty
It was
ship.
my favorite
The
ship.
Defiant. Okay,
It's my
listen.
favorite ship. Oh my
Listen.
God. It
The
hurts.
Defiant is the best spaceship ever made.
Oh
by
my god.
anyone.
Do you guys have any idea how easy you are?
Ooh. Oh.
Yeah, well, we're kind of playing along. So,
I don't think
Hell,
Jake's
gotta
playing
be-
along. Jake is like full
No.
on rage.
No, you don't talk about the Deep Space Nine. No. Can you hear Tally squeaking? By the way, she's squeaking on a pizza.
Okay, let's talk some Star Citizen. Star Trek, Star Wars, Star Citizen.
Stars in her eyes.
so
Star-crossed
shouldn't-
lovers.
Starcraft.
Shouldn't Star Trek and Star Citizen be completely like pacifist. There's no wars in the title. It's just treks and citizens, and that's it. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, but by that logic, shouldn't Starship Troopers be about a bunch of intergalactic scouts?
Yes.
Isn't it?
It kind of is, yeah.
Jake, you're muted.
Oh,
You sure are
I
moved.
forgot I did. Here's the difference. Here's the difference.
Starcraft.
Wars,
It's Laura Croft in space.
Star Wars is always about some kind of war going on, right?
Mhm.
Always. Star Trek has episodes where they're just chilling in a 50s bar with frickin' what's his face? I don't remember his name, just chilling,
Vic
listening to some
Fontaine?
Frank. Yeah, Vic Fontaine, chilling, listening to
That
some
was
frickin'
great.
Sinatra music. Sometimes, but also the Dominion War.
Okay, guys. So what happened
And
this
punching
week?
an omnipotent being in the face.
What happened
That's
this
the
week
difference.
in Star Citizen?
In Star
Uh,
Citizen, there's wars, but sometimes you deliver drugs to people.
Yes, but are we going to get a holodeck? Are we going to get a holodeck? Are we going to be able to go back and play poker with Stephen Hawking?
Serena.
Yes.
Sure. It's Stephen Hawking, Isaac Newton, Albert Einstein
Yes.
specifically.
So,
PTU's having some struggles,
what
When does it
happened
not?
this week?
but that's the
What-
nature of it.
What happened this week was CIG attempted to get 3.6 stable in PTU.
Didn't happen.
We're
I
also
think you learn a lot more when things go wrong, because if things go right, then you're like, oh, okay. But if things go wrong, you're like, that, and something crops up. It's like, well, next
Oh,
time
totally.
we do this, fucking remember that.
Well, yeah, that's always how
Hey,
things go. And the
can we-
fun thing is too when you're like, oh, it worked.
Yep.
Okay.
Why
Can we
did it
put
work?
up this unbelievable shipjacker heavy armor?
Yeah, yeah. Give
Yes,
me a sec.
please.
I'll put it up. Give me
Oh
a
my
second.
God! It's
Give me a
so
second. Give me a
good.
second. God.
I'll give you
Guys,
one.
Give me
One
a
second.
second.
1 second.
Actually, I need a minute. Can I actually get like 3 hours?
Oh, okay.
Have you got the money?
He's got
'Cause if you got the
first,
money, I got the
it's-
time.
it's just like the bloom effects on him, but it looks like steam is coming out of his shoulders at first glance.
I mean,
Mhm.
steam probably should
You know-
come out of his shoulders.
Yeah,
He looks awesome.
yeah.
I hate to disagree with you guys.
No, it's awesome.
No,
You hate to disagree with us.
I
Get outta
always
here.
disagree. No, I'm
You
sorry.
always-
You
I am
love to disagree.
I am
Your
sorry.
favorite thing.
Who the hell wears chainmail in space?
This guy,
Space
because
Knights.
he's like, I'm
This
gonna
guy.
make a fashion statement, and I'm gonna wear fucking chainmail.
But it just
I
know,
think you'll
this
find
means-
that
this
slightly
means that we're gonna-
rotund shipjack.
This means we're gonna have melee weapons.
Well,
we
yeah,
better
already-
have melee weapons.
Because you need the chainmail to block the sword stabs.
Well,
No,
and
it
the
wouldn't block a stab.
arrows.
It,
Oh
it
yeah,
blocks
a
the,
box
the
sword
slash. But so
yes.
would the plate armor of the like.
Plate is more for stabbing. Chainmail's more for slash.
Yeah,
But,
and
like-
and for arrows, chainmail was for arrows as well. And we got the crossbow in there coming eventually, so
soon
it's
TM.
crossbow protection.
Also,
really,
the
really
rules are
ratty
cool,
chainmail,
man.
dude.
It looks cool.
Listen, I want
Exactly.
No, 'cause I want to talk about the rule of cool now, because
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
we are all okay with the rule of cool for ships and the rule of cool for armor. It doesn't matter as long as it looks cool. But what happened to the
Yeah.
rule of fun? Of like,
coming.
What's,
No,
what's
no,
wrong
because-
with this?
nothing's wrong with this, but we're okay with like, okay, this is kind of silly, but it looks cool when it's for looking cool. But when it's for like fun versus realism, we're like 40,
You're
40
not
hour.
talking about- You're not talking about anyone on this cast because we all
I
agree
know.
with you here.
No, I know. I'm bringing this up again because honestly, actually, I'm bringing it up again because we're on to week 1 of no like stuff from CIG, so we got to talk about something. So I'm bringing it up again. Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not necessarily a suit of armor. You notice that it's got that secondary skull-like face thing in the torso.
He's Krang.
It's actually, oh, that's even better than what I was going to go with.
There you
I was
go.
just going to say it's a midget in a dress.
No, it's Krang. I don't know.
It should also be noted that this is most definitely concept. I would love to see what this actually looks like in the game.
Yes.
With freaking steam coming off the freaking shoulders.
Yep.
Better. There was also
Give me
this
the
week, I
steam.
guess. Looks pretty. It's a pistol.
Yeah.
And some,
yeah.
An advocacy badge.
and some dossiers. It's a nice
Gotta
word.
have those dossiers.
Dossier.
It's a good word.
And a cup.
Kind of looks like he's about.
Cup
to pick
is
up his
also a
gun.
good word. It's a very woody word.
All right,
Cup.
let's talk about. Let's throw up the roadmap on there.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's do the
There's
roadmap.
not a whole lot to talk about.
Let's do
No.
let's do Squadron first. We're doing Squadron first
okay,
because
yeah.
because
There's actually something there.
There's a lot of stuff going on in Squadron Land.
Juke.
I gotta blow this one up
Q2
more.
Complete.
Come on, let me
Q2
blow this up.
complete. They moved a couple stuff. They moved a couple things last week.
They moved one this week.
They moved it from Q3 to Q4.
Yes, physical damage system was moved from Q3
Yep.
to Q4. It should also be noted. Look at the amount of AI in Q3 and Q4.
Can I just
Look
say
at that fucking.
Can I just say
Oh
that
my.
Q3 is humongous? Like,
Yes,
Yeah.
it's gigantic.
As it
It-
usually is. As it usually
Yeah.
is.
I suspect it will get pared down
Just-
somewhat.
just so much AI.
I want that
Oh, all the
basilisk.
AI.
I want
Mag
the
boots.
basilisk deployable shield.
Yes,
Is it like those ones from Halo? Because
it's like the ones from Star Citizen. They had them in the original,
Oh yeah.
way
Yeah.
back at the beginning
Oh
of
my god.
Star Marine.
Star Marine. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yep.
And then
So
Q4
I gotta figure
looks
out-
pretty good too.
What is this physical damage system? Oh, right. This is the
With-
shit right here.
Yeah.
The soft
The
body
physical
physics
damage
changing.
system is soft body physics.
Slightly important.
Oh, wow. Something most games don't even dare trying because it breaks them.
And then Q2 2020 beta.
Yeah.
So
Uh-huh.
the full description of the physical damage system is making use of the physics engine to create a system that looks spectacular as well as behaves realistically when large objects such as ships are being damaged by weaponry or colliding with other ships, locations, or even planets.
So they won't just pop like grapes.
Exactly.
You ram things. They won't just.
Also, that cloth sim that we saw last year at CitizenCon is in Q4. That amazing cloth sim. that we got to
Yes.
see.
Oh my
that
god.
stuff was just stupid. Just stupid.
Stupidly
Me
good.
being-
I'm pretty
just
excited.
actual responding to energy that's been put onto it in
Yep.
real time without going down to 6 FPS in an MMO. Crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Well, when Sean Tracy was like, "Yeah, we managed to achieve this with no performance impact," and I was like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
No. That's not how things
Dark
work.
history.
Good things have performance impact. You can't.
I mean, I'm
Friggin'
looking forward to my
magicians.
all-over body cloak so I can pretend to be Batman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Star Citizen.
The Vanguard Sentinel had a big improvement this week, went up 29%.
They finished weapon attachments.
Yeah, they finished
Done.
weapon attachments. They still have some work to do on distribution and ecosystem improvements and the shield system's tech replacement. Neither one of them are done. They may end up getting booted. But
not much progress on the 3.6.x either.
No.
Nope.
Wow. Yeah.
Do you guys think that any of the stuff from 3.6.x will just be shunted over to 3.7? Do you think it'll make it?
Depends how long it takes them to get 3.6 out.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I think that's the factor. If they can get all their problems sorted and get it out next week, then I think 3.6x will probably still be a thing. But if it takes them until the end of July, probably not.
They need to get the black market economy and ship rentals working along the same time because the systems are tied in with each other. They're not. There are various systems within each system that depend on each other to work.
Oh, lovely.
I will fly my jump.
The ship team continues to do a spectacular job. I'm assuming this is probably because it's one of the earliest teams to really get moving.
Yeah.
But saw a bunch of changes to the Vanguards, the Carrack, the Bengal, and a few other ships this week. So
we've got. Oh, go Shiver.
Do you think because the ship team is the most put in the system, it's got a very much time and true system, and we're seeing the benefit with them working on big getting done, a month, 2 months sort of thing, and then the next one comes along and it's much, much quicker. Do you think that sort of thing is what they're aiming for with each and every single team as well? That point where it's like, we've got the tool for this, we've got the tool for this, we've got the tool for this. Press that, polish it up, and you do a whole
100%.
planet in a month to start.
See, that's the thing is like, it used to take a year to 18 months to make a ship. Like
that was a single
the constellation,
season, wasn't it?
like the constellation.
Right.
I've
still got.
So
this is kind of one of those places where I've got some real worries about the future of Star Citizen. I know that they're speeding up, especially for ships. Like, ships are going really well. They can do really complex ships in not too much time. Other places that they really need to speed that up, though, are weapons. Right now, it is taking them way too long to make individual weapons. 1 or 2 weapons per patch. Like, 2 weapons in 3 months is just... I feel like you won't end up with a full... I don't know. Arsenal, yeah. Jake, you're muted.
Oh, I disagree with that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's that?
Apex Legends has...
Sucks.
Okay.
I know Apex has not very many weapons.
They put out a weapon every 3 months.
Right.
1 weapon.
It's not an MMO. It's a different type of gameplay, though.
It's an FPS game.
Yes, but it can get away with it because your inventory is wiped every game. Whereas in Star Citizen, if they've only got 30 weapons and it takes you 2 weeks to collect all 30 weapons, well, like that's one of the drives of every single...
Would you collect all 30 weapons?
But that's one of the drives of every single MMO ever. No, it's the drive to get more equipment.
This isn't a loot game. It's a sandbox game. It's a completely different structure than any other MMO that's ever been made. So you can't really compare the two. It's apples to oranges.
So you think there's no need for a more robust...
Not hundreds of weapons. This isn't Borderlands.
No. Borderlands is billions.
I know.
I'm not
required in this universe.
I mean, look at Planet Side 2. The factions in that each grunt has a choice of what 2, 3 main weapons.
Yeah.
That's not much, and that's an MMO.
Right, but it's not a good one.
So
Planet Side 2,
what you're
sir,
saying
used to be
is your
phenomenal.
opinions are bad. That's what it is.
No, I'm saying for a lot of
No.
people, there is a desire to get more stuff.
This isn't that. Those people should not be playing Star Citizen. At least not to collect weapons. You should be, if you want to collect something, it should be ships.
But even
What sort of
There's
number
over
you think?
100 ships.
variants included, yes.
How many main weapons do you think would be in rough estimate? Hundreds, thousands, dozens?
I'd probably say in the hundreds area.
I'm gonna say dozens, and that's all that's needed.
What happens to different types of weapons? Like right now, there's like okay, so melee weapons, more silent ranged weapons.
So what I'm saying is, in order to balance all of those things, it's not a stat stick like a typical MMO. It doesn't just swing and numbers. You have to factor in projectile speed, cone spread, rate of fire. You have to factor in damage for each bullet, bullet arc,
Right.
and every single attachment for all of those weapons. That's a lot more going into it than just swing numbers. Because
Right, but
that's
how
what
many do
all
we need
MMOs
to
right?
have?
Like a few dozen.
Ship weapons?
Also a few dozen. I would say like 50.
I would say 50 is too few. I would say
Question.
Yeah.
When you're saying 50, now are you saying there should be 50 different types of weapon, and within those, say there are 50 different size 1s, there are 50 different size 2s, and so on and so on, or just 50 guns in total?
Jake?
What?
50 like 50
I
size
didn't
ones.
think that was directed.
50
No,
size okay. Like 50
No,
total.
Like, yeah.
So like 2 size
Like,
ones,
maybe
2 size
100.
2s.
If we're counting like capital ship weapons, I would say like 25 size 1s, 25 size 2s.
So now we're into hundreds.
No, I'm saying
How many weapons do you guys think are in the game right now?
like 30 something.
I'd say closer
Ship
to 60.
weapons. All weapons total, including firearms. Yeah, like 60.
Do you have a number?
So I'm talking only personal weapons.
Oh,
Right.
personal weapons.
And
like probably
This
like
page
20.
This page was updated on January 31st, 2017, so it's not up to date.
Right.
And there were
So
and there
add
were
like 15 weapons
and there were 40 at that time.
of just firearms.
Yeah, I took out the grenades.
Huh.
What page is
There's
that?
Well, then.
there's like 8 or 9 grenades.
I mean, it is also possible they're not going nuts with personal weapons, because Squadron 42, you're only going to have a very small section because you're on a military craft, and they're only going to have military-approved weapons. There's only going to be a handful of them, so they're probably like, we only need so many weapons at the hands. Once we've got that, it doesn't matter. I churn out once a month, it doesn't matter.
Well, the other thing is, like, you're kind of discounting the impact of tuning. Well, first of all, modularity of weapons, and then of course the individuality of those those modular pieces,
Right.
and possibility of tuning those modular pieces as well. So you can
And
end
they
up
have to
with
balance all those things.
and all of those things they don't have to balance them because it's a sandbox. They can do whatever they want.
But
They can be like, this weapon kills the universe.
I would say they have to balance it on an economic level at the very least.
On an economic level. I don't think they'll put a lot of effort into making sure that this weapon
How
kills
many
in
of
the
these
same
are
number of
in?
hits as that weapon. Most of them.
because
I don't know how many of them are in, but That was how many there were announced, like over 2 years ago. I assume, and there's been a whole bunch since then.
January 2017 was like when 3.0 just came out.
So here's where I've got some issues with this. Is like, yeah, okay, 50 sounds like a decent number, but then you get into it, and that's 4 sniper rifles, 5 types of pistol, 5 types of shotgun.
It sounds like an FPS game.
It sounds like an FPS that's normally like an 8-hour run through FPS or single matches,
a multiplayer game,
or a single matches, right? But this isn't single matches restart. This isn't.
That's my other point.
What?
Where every weapon will have infinite like changes to it because you'll have modularity and tuning. So you could have this one guy with some arc light energy pistol that can, because he did some fucking crazy thing to it.
The pistol explodes after the first shot, but you can take down and...
my internet's crap. One of my favorite things in Mass Effect 1, I think it was taking one of the like super slow shotguns and putting on the mod. There was a mod that made it like you had one shot and it was overcharged in one shot, but it did ridiculous amounts of damage. So I guess like what I want to get more into is, you guys think that there's enough weapons-ish as is?
No, I think that they're making them fast enough.
You think they're making them fast enough? Okay.
Yeah,
how much?
That's what I'm saying.
How much?
Yeah.
Okay, so how much variance, I guess, do you want to see when the game's actually out?
Tons. Personally,
but do you want to see, like in most MMOs, actually in most games, things have rarity levels? For example, they're color coded, right, based on how good they are.
Yeah.
Do we have a way we want to see them do that for, say, a bearing assault rifle?
They're already doing it.
How are they doing it?
Well, they have quality level for all the weapons. And also you have wear and tear on each individual item, and I believe they've said it can never get back to 100%. So as like you'll have this ancient fucking assault rifle that you find in the desert somewhere, and it does 5% of the damage of another assault rifle. Because it's old as shit.
So David,
Yep.
David, you're saying that Mass Effect 1 is your gold standard?
No.
No, I think
for how many weapons are in a game?
I actually know exactly how many weapons are in.
There's
are
like
in Mass
6.
Effect
There's
1.
less than 50.
Yes, I know. But each one of those 50 guns had 10 or 12 levels.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those are just stat increases.
Right, but like, if they do that stat increase thing, are those different?
Do that in Star Citizen, that would be terrible.
Something like it.
Because in Mass Effect, all the damage and all of everything was a dice roll, and that's not how Star Citizen works at all.
So it's supposed to be
I kind of agree with Guns and Glue. Borderlands is the gold standard for weapons, but
no, it's not.
Totes.
I mean, honestly, the gold standard is obvious. Your pipe rifles and your pipe shotguns and your pipe pistols.
Fallout,
right?
yeah,
of course, yeah. Like, obviously, you want to have pipe pistols in Star Citizen. Maybe as a very, very.
I want a
shitty
pistol
weapon.
that shoots pipes.
A railgun, yeah.
I want a pipe that shoots guns.
That would be cool. Again, a railgun can shoot anything metallic, so you could shoot a gun with a railgun.
It shoots a bullet, like that. You smoke the pipe. The pistol comes out of the pipe and then shoots a bullet.
Yeah, perfect.
That's the one. And if you're strong with the Force, you can use multiple guns at once.
Yeah.
So you guys think they're on track for weapons? Here's my next question.
I think they're potentially on track for weapons. Yep. So, and they've talked about it before. how they are working on systems to make it easier to make weapons.
Yeah.
And
Plus
also to bring in the modularity of weapons and
the weapon attachments is
custom
going to give
attachments.
us enough variety, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of the things I am most excited about is weapon attachments, because that starts meaning
guess what?
I know.
It's done.
I know. I'm excited about that. It makes me happy because that's one of the that to me is one of the things that yes. Hey Jake, you've been having a lot of poutine lately, haven't you?
Dude, I have been having some poutine, and they have like different kinds of poutine.
Have you had butter
Got,
chicken
like-
poutine?
Oh, they did have butter chicken poutine, but this is Texas, so we had barbecue brisket poutine.
That's pretty good.
Greatest
poutine?
thing.
Smoked meat poutine. Montreal smoked meat.
Oh, yeah.
So good.
Okay, this is the Poutine Podcast.
Yeah. But seriously, if you ever see butter chicken poutine, you got to do it.
There's a food truck that comes by my office, and all they sell is fries. Oh man, it's gonna be all different kinds of fries. They're not gonna have poutine. Sure enough, #1 on the menu, and you can add any kind of meat that you want to it. And they're like, I was like, what kind of meat you got? And he's, say no more. Say no more.
Pulled pork poutine's pretty great too.
Brisket poutine.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, I wanted to bring up one more thing before we go to
Question.
Oh. Sorry, I just got a message. I had bid on some I had put a bid on at a thrift store on some ancient like encyclopedias, and apparently I won, so I have to go pick up some
There you go.
encyclopedias.
Congratulations.
Because encyclopedias are cool, okay?
Especially the old ones that aren't accurate anymore.
Yeah. I don't want
you
an accurate
never-
one.
Hope you never
Moon's
have to
fertile
move ever
surface
again.
will first be reached in 1953.
Carbide, my internet is just ass right now because of stuff that happened this week. It's just my internet's sucking right now, and I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks, and Nakara's going to take over while I'm gone, and then hopefully around when I get back, my internet will be fully fixed and it'll stop, but I can't do anything about it right now. Okay,
Will the recording be okay?
Yeah, the recording, well, no, because the recording's going to have it too, because it's you guys freezing on Discord. It's Discord.
Okay.
There's nothing I can do.
The audio is going to be great.
Perfect. So we know we're okay. We know that Star Citizen is okay for ships.
Yeah.
You guys are pretty sure they're okay for weapons. I kind of agree as well. I think given another 3 or 4 years at a weapon or two every couple months plus attachments, it'll be good. Here's my main concern.
I know.
Probably
everyone's main concern.
Seriously, if this isn't your main concern right now, then you're not paying attention. Star Citizen promises 100 systems.
They retracted that promise about 2 years ago.
No.
Well, they promised 100 systems eventually.
Eventually.
Yes, not at launch. I know not at launch.
No, they can't do it at launch.
I'm not even talking about launch. I'm talking about even the eventually. Break that down to months. How many months? If they can do one system, I'm going to go with literally the best possible scenario. One
procedural
system.
Tools aren't done yet.
I know, but once the procedural tools are done, they're not just procedurally generating, right? They're going to go in and handcraft locations on planets. So I'm going.
But the tools to do that aren't done yet either.
Right, which is why I'm saying, let's say
forever right now.
I know, but I'm going best case scenario, 1 month per system.
That's not the best case scenario.
Really?
I don't think it's best case scenario. Depending on the system, you really have to look at what systems you're talking about. Because, as I mentioned last time we were talking about this, there are going to be a lot of systems that are unexplored, that will be exploration content, that, there's no human or alien outposts there at all. It's barren
How
system.
many?
Yes, they're gonna put. There were at least 20 of that original 100 that were unexplored.
Okay. And how many systems have like massive stuff? Like,
only like a
Like
few.
less than a quarter.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you've got.
I would say there's only maybe 10.
Like Stanton is one of those systems that has tons of stuff in it.
Right. So let's say you've got a quarter that have tons of stuff and a quarter that have not so much stuff.
Yeah.
Those will balance it. I'm saying overall.
3/4?
Okay.
Do you guys think it'll be faster than one a month?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Well,
Really?
it depends. What do you mean? What do you mean on any given what month, what year, when?
Like they get one, let's say one per month. One release of a system per month.
When?
Average.
Over the next what?
That's the question.
Well, they're talking
If
about
if it's one system per month average, it's going to take them 8 years to finish 100 systems. That's my
From now, yeah.
right, and we don't even have one yet.
No.
Right.
No.
So we haven't even started this.
No.
Do you think that they can get to 100 faster than 8 years?
Sure.
And it cuts out again. Fuck.
But
Yes is the answer.
Yes is the answer. Do I think they can? Will they? Is a million factor.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing too is the Stanton system. If we had what we have now in Stanton with all of the systems they're going to be building for this game, that would be almost enough for me.
Oh yeah, I understand that.
That's a lot of content.
But
Okay.
So,
it's still not.
Give me 1 second.
So
I'm gonna try and. Should I try and change the?
You should
server?
Change region.
Yeah, give me 1 second here, guys. This is.
hello.
Hello. Let's see if this is any better at all.
All right.
We're now in the Texas region.
All right. So I'm gonna tell you a story about a little game.
Hey, Des.
A little tiny video game that kind of took the world by storm a couple months ago called The Outer Wilds.
Yes.
The Outer Wilds took 8 years to build one.
Yep.
That game has enough content in it to last about 30 hours.
Yep.
Dollars and a single player experience. What I'm saying is that game is so dense full of stuff
Right.
that it doesn't matter so much that I can't just go to the next star system. I'm not always stuff to find. If they make these things dense enough, it doesn't matter how many star systems because we'll never see all of it. We'll never see all of it.
I'm gonna pause you for 1 second and try and switch this again. This is just ass. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Well,
I don't.
Can I interject?
Yeah,
Can I
go.
interject? Because I do have a problem with that point. Because the problem is that the story that they've talked. What's wrong?
It's just my internet's shitting everywhere.
I'm not seeing that. Oh, you can't hear us? Is that the problem?
You guys pause every like 15 seconds for a second.
Oh, okay.
Like it freezes you guys quite often.
Oh, I see it.
I'm not dropping any frames. It's Discord, it seems.
I see. Anyway,
no, hang on. I'm gonna try one more thing.
Okay. He just vanished. Hello.
Just
Welcome back.
Closing the call, reopening it. We'll see. I doubt it, but okay. Carry on, Makar.
Anyway, the problem with that is that the story that they have intended for Star Citizen does not work with one system.
Oh, I'm not saying it'll be one system, but I'm saying there was a lot for just that one system.
No, I understand, but I've heard several people game in one system, but the story that they've hinted at, which is basically a war between Terra and Earth, doesn't work if the only system you have is Stanton.
No, but what I'm saying is you don't need 100 systems to tell that story.
Right. Question,
you don't.
Jake. Question for you, Jake. I agree with you 100%. The amount of stuff that they'll be able to fit into each system is going to be massive. And even if they get like 10 systems, once they get the whole simulation running, those 10 systems are going to be already ridiculous amount of content. Here's my question. If it takes them 10, 15, 20 years to get the 100 systems, are they like, should they never have promised 100 systems in the first place, or
no,
should they possibly walk back that promise? And like,
the answer is no, they absolutely should never have promised 100 systems ever.
Okay.
Never. But to be fair to them, they promised this before they were doing fully procedural entire planets.
Yeah. Do you think that that's
Having
something that
one
needs to be changed?
Having one location, like let's look. Example, that game has what, like a couple dozen systems in it.
Which game? Sorry, you cut out again.
Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Ah, yes.
That game has what, a couple dozen systems, few dozen planets that you can go to, but each one of those planets is only one section of one place in that area.
Yeah.
So really, and like, I get it, like people are crying about semantics, but what if they give us the same real estate level of content that was going to be in the 100
they've already
systems?
Honestly, they've already surpassed it.
Yeah, exactly. That's like, my point.
The problem is there's a couple of things here. You have to have enough content to keep people interested. And regardless of how many systems that takes, you need to have the content, and you have to be able to have a story of some kind.
Yeah.
I'm
saying they could accomplish that with like 24 systems. Not
probably get to, which they could probably get to within about 5 years or so.
We've only had one question so far, so we're just gonna continue. We're just gonna continue rolling on this because Shiver, I've got possibly the most important question for you.
42.
Well, no, it's not 42. You've been silent for way too long. So, Shiver. Procedural generation of planets is great. Development of weapons and such is going well. Hopefully they'll be able to speed the planets up. Ships is going well. Here's the question. How important is it for them to develop a procedural generation tool for wildlife?
I think it's pretty important.
Procedurally, I wouldn't. I suppose they could. It depends on out in the universe. If they want lot of life, then they'll have to start with some basic procedure just to get something, and then have an actual artist correct it so it doesn't always look like phallus or some weird messed up creature that's walking around going
visually distinct creature created in the Spore Creature Creator thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So one of the things that both amazed me and pissed me the hell off about No Man's Sky was it was cool that there were different looking animals on just about every single planet, right? Neat idea. But then there was the complete and utter unrealism of 97% of those random, like procedurally generated animals.
That's procedural generation for you. It completely random.
Also, in terms of wildlife, like 1% of the planets is going to have wildlife.
Yes.
Because think about it. What percentage of planets in our galaxy has life?
Mars.
Currently.
Mars percentage.
Currently,
there's also they can
know
some time and say there are common life forms that happen across all, or all types of planets have evolved these types of life forms that are exactly.
We're getting raided by the pub.
Oh,
hello, pubbers.
Hey, hi, pubbers. Thanks for joining us.
You've joined a dying internet stream, so I apologize in advance.
No, because think about it too. Like even just take Stanton for example. all those planets are terraformed in some way, and so the life that's going to be on it is going to be placed
Yes.
by humans.
I have a more important follow-up question.
Can I?
Oh, could I just
chime in?
quickly say, even the empty systems cannot be so devoid of gameplay, because they will,
Those are
they
mining
will need
systems,
a percentage. Yeah, they're mining systems. They're
Strip
exploration
them
systems.
bare.
They're pirate-based systems.
Yeah.
They're anti-pirate-based systems. That's
That's
where
why
the
I like
players,
these new space stations a lot. It's because
Yeah.
we're gonna get those kind of littered about everywhere, and that's gonna be really good.
Just a couple things on your point about the star systems. I never meant to mean that they're empty. I meant that they are devoid of, or most of them will be devoid of human-built structures.
Yes.
But they'll be very rich in science content, because science is going to be an actual profession. Science research, but mining, huge one. Like, hey, we have a whole system that's never been touched by anybody. Like, huge deal.
Heat up the Orions and
then-
strip it bare.
And that will provide an enormous amount of content for people with pioneers too, because they'll have whole systems that they can take their pioneer down and start building outposts, that kind of thing.
I mean, there's also
So the other point I wanted to make
knock-on
was,
effect.
yeah. So the other point I wanted to make was that I agree with Darge, and a couple other people made this comment. I think that procedural generation of wildlife is a perhaps good idea, as long as they do it the same way as they do planets, which is artist-driven procedural generation. So they get a base creature that's procedurally generated for them, and they go, that looks like shit, and they either throw it out or they fix it. Like,
so
Also, I don't want to use Outer Wilds as an example of procedural generation, because that game was entirely handcrafted,
yeah.
and it's why it took 8 years to make.
Yes. So here's the thing I would most like to see personally from flora and
Agreed,
fauna.
Buster.
From flora? No, flora. Wait, which one's
Flora.
which?
flora is
Fauna.
plants,
Flora
fauna
is
is
flowers.
animals.
Yes. The thing I'd
Fauna
most
is
like to
animals.
see from fauna in Star Citizen, and I agree that there should be most of the planets should be devoid of life, and then there should be like ones that are terraformed should have mostly similar life, maybe with a couple little different varieties here and there. I think the most important thing on those planets that are untouched by terraforming and that have life, and this is why I really think that they do need to implement some kind of procedural generation tool, is that there
Very
has to
small Venn diagram.
Yes, very small, but look at the variety of life on Earth.
Yep.
Right? There are millions of completely, totally different looking things. And one of my biggest problems with No Man's Sky was you'd land on a planet and that thing looks pretty cool. Okay, there's that, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I've seen everything on this planet. Right? You see 6 creatures and you've seen it all. I really hope that CIG implements some kind of procedural generation, largely to create a immense biodiversity on those.
Now that you say that, they could well be having that plan long term, because the way that they're doing the procedural planets are with scattered out biomes, and then rather than just a sudden change out of, say, Minecraft, where it's literally different biomes, it will be a gradual, and they could tie different creatures in with those biomes.
I would be A-okay with that. But they have to have more than like 10 different animals on an entire planet, especially considering the size of planets in Star Citizen.
So the question is, how do they achieve that? Yeah, that's a good question.
So
Planet of the Hedgehog.
Luxgur asks, why would players need that in a space MMO with lots of systems? Quite frankly, players would need that in a space MMO with lots of systems, because that is 90% of the planned science and exploration gameplay, is finding these interesting creatures and finding places that have never before been seen and exploring them. It's one of the things that makes Star Citizen so much different, is the exploration. We need modular, procedural, crafted, like there needs to be more.
and here's the thing: is that's Chris Roberts' vision, right?
Yeah.
Is fidelity. It needs to be believable. So when you're there on the planet, if you've seen the 3 animals, it doesn't make any sense.
There's the 3 animals.
Now it makes sense on planets like Hurston, though, where the industry has killed most of the wildlife.
Good point.
And there's just the frickin' face huggers flying around eating people. That makes sense because that whole thing is terrifying.
It's a baby.
Yep. Also, target practice.
Parasite.
Darge. Oh boy.
Also, target practice.
Has she got to the point yet where her belly button's turned from an innie to an out?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that has happened. So
questions yet?
Do we have any questions?
we've got like 5. Let's start with them and we'll see what happens. Ashley asks, would you like to operate a flight deck in game? No, not really.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be fun.
I would do that. Maybe not for very long, but it'd be fun for a while.
Darj asks, question for Shiver. Who is your furry friend? And I don't mean the hedgehog.
Gross.
His name is Aerith.
He's very furry.
The pun-isher asks, how and by
Hi,
how
Des.
much do you think releasing less than the full 100 completed systems will affect the exploration mechanic? It depends. It depends entirely on things like flora and fauna.
No, it depends highly on the random jump points that are going to be appearing and disappearing.
Can I have a different answer?
No, you have to conform to one of the answers that it's already been given.
Okay, so honestly, I think this is one of the reasons I was so happy to see the Pioneer come out, because that really took the exploration gameplay from like
It means something.
Because now you can't just scan a planet from orbit. You actually have to go look. And so because you have to go down on the planet and look and like fly over the surface of the planet from low altitude, the amount of stuff there is to do will just explode in terms of exploration. And you actually have something to do with that content. You would sell it and, hey, I found this mine or this vein of material here, or man, there are a lot of apples in this orchard. Maybe someone wants alien apples, whatever.
Or you could be really tricky and set up this fake trap city, and then they come and investigate the coordinates, and you're like, you fell into my trap, and jump them and take all their stuff.
I also think that this is one of the reasons that cave systems are really important, because cave systems are going to be a lot about exploration and finding them. And you know what? Someone like Jake may be flying over a planet and he sees a little cave system. He's like, ooh, I should like drop a probe or scan it or something. He scans it and it's a giant cave system. He's like, there's probably some good shit down there. But I don't like caves because caves have spiders. I don't go down in fucking caves because caves have cave
cool
spiders. Not cool with spiders.
As long as I have weapons, I'm cool with spiders.
Yeah, but I'm not. Anyway, we're just pretending that you're me for this example.
Okay.
So Jake fucks off, right? Jake's like, peace, I'm out. But now I've got the location of this giant cave system that I can sell to someone, and they can go spelunking and bring a flamethrower and deal with the face huggers.
Yeah.
And that is the exploration gameplay.
The exoskeletons of those spiders might be made of like unobtainium.
Yeah.
And
the venom could be used for poison darts.
Yeah, exactly.
I lick the back of the spider as you trip out.
Bryce Arena asks, who's in Wave 1 and have you been playing 3.6?
Me?
I'm not.
No.
I'm not in Wave 1.
I'm not actually going to play any of the PTU this time around. I am straight up just going to wait for live.
Yeah, I've realized that I play the PTU a lot and then don't play when live comes out, so I'm just gonna do the opposite this time.
That sounds
Yeah.
good.
PTU is rough, and it's always rough, and it's supposed to be rough, and I've realized that I don't like it rough.
Gross.
You like it gentle? Someone clip that.
Thank you.
Does that mean I have to stop holding on to your beard when we have sex?
Oh boy.
It's got to get a little longer for that. Not the beard. Darj asks, do you think, considering how huge the new space stations are, once they get proper interiors, they'll also contain HABs and operate like proper cities in space?
Totally.
Mhm.
Fucking hope so.
Considering a small station like Olisar has them, yeah, totes.
At the very least, like floating hotel.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Bryce Serena asks, in your humble opinion, my opinion is not humble, sir. My opinion is right, factually correct, 100% of the time. But thank you. In my humble opinion, what is your definition of exploration, and when do you think CIG will implement the exploration mechanic?
My definition of exploration is exploring. And
So
when will
is it in yet?
Yes. But in terms of like actual gameplay mechanics related to exploration, I would say you're looking at probably. I would say next
I'd say
year,
next
maybe.
year. Yeah,
Next year, maybe.
because let's be real, Carrick's gonna get delayed. As it.
Yep.
Let's be real.
Yep.
So when that happens, when the Carrick's out, they'll have reason for it, right? Because they'll have multiple different ships at multiple levels, all the way to the top for exploration, right? Because we got the 315, we got the all the Reliant variants, we have the Vanguard.
We'll hopefully have the. Wait, do we have the DUR?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we do.
we've got the DUR.
Durden. The DUR.
DUR.
We have the Connies. We've got all shapes and sizes of exploration vehicles, and Carrick was the last one because it's the big one and it's the specialist one.
So I just had a thought about mechanics in Star Citizen. And like gameplay
Just
and
now
end
had a
game and everything. Just a light bulb kind of thing. Well, no, it's that. So we were talking earlier about weapons, and for a lot of games, a lot of the like looter shooters and stuff, and Diablos, World of Warcraft, the loot is the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Star Citizen won't be like that.
Nope.
So the gameplay in Star Citizen is not focused around getting stuff. It's really focused around the thing that Star Citizen is most focused around is economy. Exploration will really be in when you can find things and then sell the location to those things.
Yes.
That is exploration. And every single element of gameplay in Star Citizen is not in until it can be monetized.
Yep.
That is the root of Star Citizen's gameplay. It is money. Star Citizen is a capitalist game. We need to shut it down. Break out the hammer and sickles. It is time for revolution.
Can I be an influencer in Star Citizen?
Yes. Yes, you can be an influencer for my exploration company.
I want to be an Instagram model in Star Citizen.
Seriously,
Can I
though.
define exploration, please?
No, I just defined it and it was perfect. And
I think it needs to be done in 5-year missions, boldly going where no one has gone before.
Yeah,
All right.
you must spend at least 5 years out in the middle of nowhere in Star Citizen. So
I love that, Astro. Relay is technically an influence, except we don't influence anyone. We say something and they do the opposite.
It's perfect. I have a question for everybody, actually. Do you think Salvage will actually come out this time in Q4?
what? The
Salvage.
Salvage.
No, salvage. Do you actually think it'll come out this time?
No.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Jake as well and say maybe.
I'd say we're too far out for me to make a accurate prediction, so I'm gonna say 50-50.
We're within 5 months.
Yeah, we're not close enough.
Okay.
All right. We need to see what's going on with 3.7 before we know what's going on with 3.8.
Yeah.
Good point.
We need to
Also,
3.7 is massive, and most of it's probably going to get delayed. And we need to know what's delayed from 3.7 to 3.8 before we can know what's going to be delayed from 3.8 to 3.9.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is we're going to delay answering the question.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm with Paul. Nothing in 3.8's gonna make it.
I'm not. No. Okay. I am not.
3.8 is going to be 3.7 part 2.
No, I am not quite that pessimistic. Let's put it up here. Actually, 3.8. Let's see. 3.8. I think the Mission Giver will make it.
Sure.
The Microtech Collection will make
pretty
it.
Good about Mission Givers.
Microtech Collection will make it. I think we
you
might
mean the
get
clothes. Yeah, sure.
I think we might get some of Microtech's moons, but not the planet.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you there.
Oh
my god, I love it.
I think we might get Vehicle HUD V4, maybe security system.
No mag boots.
No FPS close combat, no salvage, no healing.
CRG push pull. No salvage.
I think we'll get
no dockings.
Yeah, but I think we'll get cockpit. I think we'll get to
weapons.
experience the improved cockpits.
We'll get the weapons, and I think we'll probably get the Cutlass rework.
Yeah,
probably
for the Cutlass Blue.
The ship team will probably get their shit done,
and we will not get performance optimizations.
No, there's always a little bit of optimization every time. There's always a little bit.
Otherwise, it can't fit much more in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a mission giver in 3.9 named Devin Bautista.
Yes.
And I just every time I see it's just Dave Bautista.
Yeah.
It's just Drax.
If it doesn't look like Dave Bautista, like if he's like some midget or something, it would
just
be...
Can we just have Dave Bautista in Star Citizen?
I would love that.
I
would love
also.
I hope he works in a coffee shop just so I can say he's Batista the barista.
Oh,
yes.
God.
And
I have absolutely no interest in Batista the bartender. I only want Paul the bartender.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh. Is Dolvac in the?
He's
got
when
are you guys
committing
into
this?
Probably.
We're doing it soon. Want to remind everybody of some upcoming hot content for the. Me and Dolvac are gonna make every drink on the G-Lock bar menu, in a row.
And record yourselves doing it.
It'll be edited. It'll be nice and cleaned up, nice and edited together. But yeah, it's gonna be terrible.
You know what I see as a big roadblock here for Squadron? I keep looking at this freaking schedule. Since for Q1 and Q2, they did a total of 3 AI tasks that they completed. There are 25 on the schedule between Q3 and Q4.
AI has been a big problem for a long time.
Yep.
Some of Tony's original visions for the AI systems and how everything would interconnect and stuff.
Well, it certainly hasn't happened, but...
What was the question?
No, there wasn't a question. I was just making an observation of the schedule, that's all.
What they need to do is make AI that can finish making the game for them.
That'd be
I
helpful.
think, yes. Mr. Nerd Guy, they are hiring in like every single part of the studios. Like,
yep.
CIG are basically always hiring.
Let's see. Let's look. 110 open positions. Let's see. Engineering. AI engineer for LA. Actually, they're only hiring one.
A guest
Oh,
from
no, just kidding. Excuse me. They're hiring one junior AI engineer. They're hiring a senior AI engineer, a senior AI programmer, a senior engine programmer, a senior gameplay / AI engineer, and that's it. So 5.
They need a lot of senior AI people.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's hard to Yeah, go ahead.
Also, real quick, if there's anybody from CIG watching right now, there's a broken image on the jobs listing on the website.
Also, if there's any from CIG watching, I hear Jake would make a great community manager for Austin.
No, I'm not moving to Austin.
Do it. Be our inside source.
Nah.
Hey, CIG, if you're listening, why not fucking try it, eh? If you want to open an office in Japan, let me know.
Or Ottawa.
Or Calgary.
Nah, I like Dallas a lot.
Nah, man, it's Saturday. If anyone from CIG is watching, good. I mean, I wouldn't watch us on your free time, but go do something other than make a game. A guest from the Friday Night Show asks, Shiver, could you explain to us what a ladder is? I have a feeling that's an inappropriate joke, and I'm going to move on. Spaceship Training Wheels asks, another angle, or says, I can't tell yet, words, another angle on the 100 systems problem. If you had to pick one focus for development, would you prefer player-created settlements with customization or handcrafted locations and content? Handcrafted locations and content. Players, occasionally there are some players that are really good at making stuff, and they make some really amazing stuff, but most players, when given the ability to make stuff, make dicks.
Generally, yes.
Facts.
I'm not sure if that's true or a fallacy.
I am. I knew it was coming. When you started saying, I'm not sure. I'm like, oh, he's gonna do truth or fallacy. Oh, it's coming. I felt it.
I had to pull it off, you know.
Jake, you felt it coming?
It was a disturbance in the force. It was a disturbance in the force. Oh my god.
That was phenomenal.
Oh, man. That was
I'm just glad I didn't cock it up.
I felt it.
Well, keep in mind that we already are getting player-created settlements. So that's what the Pioneer is.
I mean,
yeah, but
there's certainly a mix, and there's room for both.
But even
the advantage of having it done, let's say 90% done by players, it would be out. You know, it would be out a lot faster because you just need this blank space for players to go in and make massive penis shapes.
Yeah, all over the fucking universe. It's great.
Which is the
everywhere.
Downside of having it out,
that,
because then you're going to have penis-shaped cities. Which
even the stuff that the players can build still has to be built by CIG first, right? Like, you're not going in and free-form building. You're selecting the parts.
We don't know that, but they stopped short of saying exactly that when they brought the Pioneer out and introduced us. They said, "Oh, you'll be able to make your own settlement." What do you mean? Make our own settlements?
Man, we've reached the end of the
Not a
questions.
bear, he's a hedgehog.
You have to sing now. It's pretty unfortunate. What are you gonna sing?
Day I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere. Okay. No, there isn't another one. Damn it.
It's gotta keep going.
Somewhere over the rainbow. This is the first time I've had to sing, guys.
I know.
Do you want me to go
And
get my
hopefully it's the
ukulele?
last.
Yeah, go get the ukulele.
Yeah,
We can do
totally
it
go
off,
get your
off
ukulele.
out of sync.
I actually don't know where it is.
Damn it.
Oh, damn.
Is that
I
a
have-
ukulele, or are you actually a giant?
Good question.
So yeah,
Still
we're
nothing.
Actually, I'm gonna answer. I'm gonna take another shot at answering that last question. If
Okay.
you had to choose between players are not able to make settlements on their own at all because we've disallowed it, or CIG has to make everything, or I mean, you know what I mean, and CIG has to make everything, or players make everything and CIG just procedurally generates stuff.
Yeah, both. No, I want both. Both
No,
is
you have
good.
to. Yeah, you have to choose.
no.
I don't want to choose.
He said you have to choose.
I don't want to. I don't want to.
I don't want to either.
I
That's
want
my
both.
I wouldn't want to pick procedural generation as a tool to rely on permanently for everything.
Yeah.
No human input. I wouldn't.
But
Yep.
if it's only a human input, it'll take 60 years.
Yeah.
Unless
There's
it's all
got-
player built
yeah.
and there's penises everywhere
And-
across the galaxy. It'd be great.
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, I know you are.
I mean, I am
Well-
looking forward to that moment when someone does create this massive penis-shaped settlement, and everyone rushes to catch a picture of it in orbit. That will be epic, and then someone blows it up. But
Yep.
A ham sandwich asks, "Do you think socks will make it by the end of the year?" I don't know what this means.
Server-side
server-side
OCS.
object client.
No. No.
Sadly, I agree.
Well,
where is it?
server-side OCS isn't even supposed to make it before the end of the year right now.
It's not on the.
No, it's in Q1 2020 right now.
Yeah.
Actually,
How
no, it's
much
not
do
even.
you-
It's
do
not
you
even
think
there.
That will be.
It's further than that.
Do you think that will be? It's obviously a lot of work, but do you think it's going to take as much as the client side did?
More.
Sorry, I didn't hear you at the end of that question. What was it? Or what,
Do you
what you
think-
said?
Do you think the server side is going to take as much to do as client side did, or do you think they've taken a few lessons and applied, or can apply?
It's going to be more.
I think it'll be harder. Yes, obviously doing the client side helped probably, but I don't think it's going to be less work. But I believe they said that is quite a way. Like it has to. The server side OCS is quite a ways out. What we have on the schedule right now is actually in Q1 2020. There's the server to client actor networking rework. That's not server side OCS, so it's even further out than that. It's sometime later next year. Currently, so it's way off. Which is unfortunate.
I'm cool with it. In my brain, Star Citizen is gonna come out in 2030, and Squadron 42 is gonna come out in 2025. So I can only be.
Mr. Nerd Guy, they're separate systems. They won't have much. The only server-side OCS will have an impact on performance. It won't have it on the AI. It might the impact it would have on the AI would be able to, give the AI a bigger task that they can do.
I think server meshing is the thing they need for the AI to work properly, which is unfortunate because it's a long way out.
Yeah.
Their AI is so many different choices.
Well,
and decisions.
one of the problems is they can't really finish off the AI until they have server meshing, because server meshing is going to change so many of the systems in the game, because the economy right now doesn't work based on it. Like there's so much that
They
doesn't.
can finish the coding for the AI.
Well, they don't know how.
necessarily have the AI use its full capability without server-side OCS.
Well, and that's one of the questions. Like, how much are they having to hold off on until they have server-side OCS and server meshing?
Well, I don't think they're necessarily holding off on it. More like getting it to some point, take a break there, go to something else, so prevent mind claying and all that sort of, or even complete the code, put it in and then wait for server-side OCS to actually enable it, and then you can properly diagnose what you've got, because they are starting with the bartender got the is the test AI at the moment.
Yeah. Got 2 more questions here. Bryce Serena asks, if CIG are at the server's limit, do you think that adding microtech will break things beyond repair?
I don't know what that means.
It's possible. And they're having a hard time with because server-side OCS isn't in, the servers are having difficulty with the size of the system as it is.
They need server-side OCS and they need server meshing.
So what server, to remind everybody, what client-side OCS did for everybody was reduce the RAM that you needed to load the system, because things load and unload now for a client. The server doesn't do that yet. And so the more stuff they add, the more RAM it takes up on the server. And question mark? How much is too much?
They need the servers to be splittable into little shards and then mesh together, and they need servers to be able to unload stuff that isn't being used. Once they've got that, then it's a completely different ball game, and Star Citizen might actually, work. Smurf Breath asks, I heard CIG will be releasing Squadron 42 to alpha and beta. Why? Is it normal to release a single-player game to alpha? Wouldn't that ruin the ending?
No, because people are going to ruin that for you anyway. So here's what's going to happen. The normal people are going to, when Squadron 42 comes out, they'll be like, great, day, and they play a couple hours a day because they have full-time jobs. Guess what? That's not going to stop the crazy normies in their parents' basement from for 17 hours straight every day, and it also is not going to prevent the people from data mining it and putting on the internet. So really, you got to dodge spoilers no matter what. You just have to dodge them a little earlier and for a little bit longer.
Or they don't do an open, or beta doesn't actually mean open beta. That's my interpretation of it.
Yeah, but let's be honest. Even if it doesn't mean open beta, people are still going to leak because people are jackasses.
Was the ending not spoiled for absolutely everyone in the entire world when they were forced to read the entire script that was released for Squadron 42, and everyone had? Then we read all those spoilers, and now we all know how it ends.
No, I don't know how it ends, so I'm just gonna.
Exactly. No, exactly. That's the point. That's the point.
I know.
Right now, if you want.
Yeah. It's not about.
I did.
I'm thinking about it like this: is I go to see Marvel movies, even though I kind of know what is gonna happen a little bit, but they change things, and that's what's cool. It's not about the destination; it's about the journey.
You've got even more interaction in a Marvel movie, any movie. You are part of this story. You are playing.
Yeah, you
the
can
game.
screw up and fail, and then things might go horribly.
I mean, you might actually have some fun playing the game and knowing there's a story at the same time.
So, Sergeant Jokic, why would any early backer play the final fixed version if they've played beta for months? So here's the thing. I'm not one of these people, but there are crazy friggin' bastards that play one game over and over and over and over and over and love it.
I've played single player games more than once.
Actually, I played Mass Effect, I think 8 or 9 times through. Mass Effect 1.
I've played the entire Mass Effect trilogy through 4 times.
Yeah.
Nice.
Played Wing Commander 1 about 3 times.
I've played all the Kingdom Hearts games twice, all of them. Yeah, you heard me, all of them. Except for 3, which I'm just waiting for the DLC. But anyway, yeah, people play games more than once.
Played ME2 a number of times. Played through Neverwinter Nights a couple times.
That's the advantage of a game over a book, over a movie. You are part of the story. You are playing a game rather than just watching the story or observing the story.
Exactly, like in games like Mass Effect and subsequently games like Squadron 42, there's going to be incentives to playing that game more than once, because that's how a branching storyline works.
Mark Hamill's character looks kind of funny in this scene. I wonder what happens if I shoot him in it. Oh, that's what happens.
Everyone shoots. Son of a bitch.
So Sergeant Darkich, if they're planning on releasing it to Alpha, then why not release Squadron 42 right now? Because it's not ready for Alpha yet?
Well, first of all,
Sergeant Jokic, he's a troll. He just
comes
in the chat and just trolls people.
I know.
I just wanted to can we please mention that Squadron's not even coming out to Alpha ever? That's not even on the schedule.
No,
it's a beta release.
Coming to Alpha.
Yeah.
I don't know where Alpha came from. Beta, I hope it's not an open beta personally. If it is, then I'll just try and avoid.
They've said that there will be a beta, but they haven't said anything about it. Like there is
beta might be all
no
of the
information.
Well,
beta might be all of the
it's a year and a half away.
Yeah,
and
beta might be all of the employees just playing the game.
Yep.
We don't know. No way of knowing. They might hire
how it used to be.
Yeah, how it always used to be.
I mean,
Back when Chris Roberts made games.
You've got a pool of 2 million potential users. Out of those, let's say 5% are Evocati. Out of those, a certain percent might be grabbed up for the Squadron 42 and that's going to ultimately save a lot of money, because then they don't have to bring in a crap load of people to just test the game and then sling their hook. Because you can imagine how that would read, wouldn't you? CIG just hired 50 people, and then next week, CIG just fired 50 people. Which one do you think you're going to hear about the most?
Good point. Yeah. See, that's why you hired them on contract. You didn't fire them. The contract ended.
David, that wasn't the point I was trying to make at all. So.
No, it's like me saying this is the way something is going to be. We've all got ideas, and guess what? Not a single one of us, except for Nakara, is an employee of CIG. None of us have any goddamn clue what's happening or is going to happen. The entire point of this is us just bullshitting a bunch of useless drivel because we're all bored on a fucking Saturday. And we all want to talk about a game that we're interested in. We don't know what the fuck's happening. We don't know what's going on. We don't know anything.
We've already talked to all of our peers about Star Citizen. They're fucking bored shitless of us talking about
seriously.
it.
The world is ending. We're all completely correct and absolutely wrong about everything. Squadron 42 is going to be a commercial success, but a critical failure. And also the critics are going to love it and nobody's going to buy it.
Squadron 42. I am making the prediction right now. Squadron 42 is going to be the first video game to win an Oscar.
Yep. It's already won.
Not even a person. Not even a person in it. The actual game itself is going to win the Oscar. It's not going to be like Mark Hamill in the Squadron. No, yeah. They're going to set a box of the game there, and it's going to give a friggin' Oscar speech. They're going to try and cut it off, and it's going to pull out dual AKs and just mow them all down, because you don't cut Star Citizen off in its speech, okay?
Star Citizen or
Squadron.
Squadron?
Finish.
But
we've reached the end of our podcast. Thank you so much for everybody for joining us. Please, if you enjoyed today's show, hit the follow button right up there to get notified when we go live. Spoilers at the same time every week. If you really want to support the show, please hit that subscribe button. We're about to hit our next tier of subscribers, so I'm still working on. I need some ideas for our second one. Excuse me. I've got one on lock. It's ready to go. I just need to resize it. I've been working on this.
I don't even know what it is.
The time that we go live every week is 2:30 Eastern and 11:30 Pacific.
Yep.
We're around for 90 minutes. It's a 90-minute show. Sometimes it's like 92. Sometimes it's like 96.
Sometimes it's 12.
Like 84. But yeah, get yourself some hot emotes. Subscribe to the channel. You can watch David. If you want to hang out with us, go to discord.gg/relaysc, or you can hit the Discord button below to join the server. It's a good time. We have fun. Also, I saw Spider-Man, and I didn't actually type in our Marvel Spoilers channel about Spider-Man. Spider-Man's real good. Everybody should go see that.
I need to go see it, but
I didn't even know it was out.
Yeah, came out on
Shit.
Tuesday.
Also, I believe in 2 hours there's going to be some pubbing.
Paul, is there
an Astro pub today?
I don't think there is, actually.
No, not today.
Oh no, Astro pub today.
He's on vacation.
Back
He's on vacation.
Paul's on vacation.
Yeah.
That's cool because that's what I'm about to go do. I'm finishing this, and I'm fucking off on vacation, and these bastards have to.
I'm really sorry, guys. I'm hosting the next 2 weeks, so it's gonna be.
Yep.
It's gonna be factual. There will be numbers, and everything's gonna be probably run a hell of a lot better than I do. Jake won't be like in a weirdly sized box. I won't be on. So come watch next week because it's going to be a hell of a lot better than this week. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you, Pub, for the raid. Thank you, Jake, for your glasses and the way your nose looks like an avocado. Thank you, Nakara, for the way your headphones look slightly like antlers. And Shiver, thank you so much for your pet hedgehog. We'll see you all in the verse.
William. Melissa Estrada, every